Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Talking Real Estate with Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name is Mark Wehner II, team leader of Champions Real Estate Team. Joining me today, as always, is Russ Williams. So we jump on here every Wednesday, kind of give you a rundown what we've seen on the real estate market over the last 7 days, and kind of what give you our thoughts and our feels and our thankfulness in this Thanksgiving season. So we always like to start off here with a quick tip. One thing I was thinking about is this is that time of year where people start thinking about, do we want an existing home, a new construction home? And, this December, January timeframe into November is kind of where people start meeting with builders. So it's a great opportunity because typically the build cycle right now is 9 months, 10 months, that give or take time frame. So if you got kiddos and you're trying to get in before, the school starts, now is the time to get meeting with those builders rather than meeting with them in the spring. Then all of a sudden you're moving in the winter, and you're escrowing for your sod and those things that can't get done, in the time of the year when it's, when the snow's flying and things of that sort. So quick tip, is basically if you're thinking about building, now is the time to, get with the real estate agent, so you have representation from that side, protect you, throughout the entire transaction and that sort of it. So get with one of us here, Champions Real Estate Team. We're happy to sit down and meet with any of the builders that are out there. There's a lot of great builders. So a lot of times I look at it that, they're all building great houses. It's kind of that personality that you work with, because you're going to be working with that builder, for at least the next year. And then you got to think of your warranty work that you're going to be working with them for almost another year. So it's like a 2-year process that you're going to be having some relationship with that builder going forward. So you obviously want to pick a good one that you get along with in that entire process. So quick tip there. So yeah, think of new construction, give us a holler. We're happy to help you rock and roll with that. And Russ can help you with that lending side on the new construction side too. So, but let's jump into what we've seen on the real estate market over the last 7 days. So as we see here, as this pulls up for you, so we had 460 new listings go live in the last 7 days. And your newest one listed by Champions Real Estate Team just went live about a little less than an hour ago. That I'll show you here as we get going here. So, and then we got, so update there, just under 300 new contracts written, similar to what we had the week prior. Obviously we're coming into a holiday, into Thanksgiving. So it's kind of hit or miss, on the activity level. I've already gotten, my listing went live, within the last hour. I've already had at least one phone call on it, from a prospective buyer that wants to see it this afternoon. So market is still hot in that regards. And this price point at 210 is where that listing is. And we had 340 happy new homeowners regards to that. So let's take a look at the 30,000 foot view, which this one doesn't change too much, but it's always a good idea to keep an idea of what's going on the big picture side of it. So big picture, we have 3,130 active listings in the Omaha and Lincoln MLS. Breaking that down a little smaller chunk into Douglas Sarpy County of 1,800. Existing homes is about 855. So last week, that's been hovering around that 860 mark. What we're seeing is like I talked about new construction, we've had 953 homes. So that's up, I think it was 920. So we're up 30 homes in the new construction. So what does that mean? That means the builders are putting, foundations in the ground right now, putting them on the MLS because they're looking at it the same mindset that I just told you about. Those builders know that the homeowners typically want to be in, in that end of in that fall months, kind of when school is starting. In that perspective. So that's why we're seeing that number tick up, and that's keeping, that's why our Douglas Sarpy County number is going up a little bit there on the homes for sale. So our existing homes are kind of still that one in, one out, but our new constructions is what's bumping those numbers up. Months of inventory, still sellers market based on that month of inventory. Obviously, that's different for each market segment and price points in that regards, but the average sold price is $335. That's hovered there probably for the last couple of weeks. But we'll kind of probably see what that number does here coming in the spring. So so that's kind of, what we're seeing. Like I said, new construction, that's why we've seen that number. I think I mentioned that in previous weeks, that number's ticking up. Builders know that people want to get into houses before usually that school, before school starts or shortly in that time frame, because they want to have an address. If they want to get into a certain school, elementary school, high school, whatever it is, they need to have that permanent address, certificate of occupancy, to get their kiddos into that school for the next calendar year. So anyways, we'll jump in here with Russ and see what's going on in the mortgage side of it, and we'll rock and roll.
Hey, Mark, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, we're continuing to see mortgage rates kind of move sideways, which isn't unexpected. We did have, of course, as we talked about last week, a little bit of weakness in the jobs report and some continued improvement in inflation numbers as we move into the latter part of this month. This coming Friday, we have the Personal Consumption Expenditures Report, or PCE, which is the Federal Reserve Bank's favorite measure of inflation. And we feel that they're probably going to notice that inflation is moving to where they want it to be, and that's a good sign for interest rates as we move into the spring. And Mark, I'm going to beat the drum again that if we do see mortgage rates improve as we head into the first half of 2024, that's going to pull more people off the sidelines that didn't want to buy with these high interest rates, and have them want to get back in and buy with interest rates coming down. But that's also going to mean quite likely is that for those of you that might like to get home inspections and have the seller pay some of your cost, that may be more difficult as we move into spring. So I highly encourage you to maybe move or consider buying a home now. We can always refinance next year to bring that payment down as interest rates drop. I also noticed this week that since we're thankful, let's be thankful for the county treasurer's office. They're releasing the tax bills for 2023 that are paid in 2024. A lot of folks are seeing those move up a little bit. So be aware of that, folks, that if you happen to get that letter from the county and your taxes have gone up and you have an escrow account with your mortgage, make sure you get that updated statement to your lender so that they can adjust that payment for you now, as opposed to maybe months down the road as that escrow account may be getting further and further behind. I hate to give you that news, but that's why we have gold-plated streets, right, Mark?
Yeah, right. Yep. And then so, and also don't send your if you're paying an escrow, your escrow company, your mortgage company will pay that property tax. So that the statement that he said that comes out here shortly looks like a bill, and it is a bill, but your mortgage company pays that for you. So don't send a check into the county assessor office, because it's good luck trying to, you'll get it back, but they're going to hang on to it as long as they can to keep those gold-plated streets, in line. So, so we don't need to give any additional donations to that pothole fund as we go into the winter months here. So, but yeah, so, so your escrow, so obviously you can keep it, you can pay that escrow shortage and things of that sort, keep your payment a little bit lower. I just did that on one of my investment properties because they came in with a shortage, and pay that to keep your payment down just a little bit. But what they'll do is they'll take that shortage, divide it by 12, add it to your payment. So yeah, awesome. Well, let's jump in here. I'll show you here real quick. Basically breaking news. Our brand new listing that went live here. So it's on our Champions Real Estate Team website here. So as we click and go through, so it's a great house just off of 49th and Center, listed at 210. So it's a fantastic house. Obviously got great picturesque windows. Kitchen's great. It has a separate entrance off right next to the garage door. So you could have, if you wanted a house hack from an investment standpoint, you live upstairs, you got some roommates downstairs. They still have that access. There's a bathroom down there as well. So virtual tours, you can jump on here. So if you go to on that website, on the Champions Real Estate Team site, so this is basically, it goes through and you basically can look at everything. You can look at the ceilings. These are the nice things about these tours. And I tell my sellers is that, with these tours, you can't hide anything. It is what it is. You're going to see the property, obviously, other than being there in person, but you can kind of obviously walk around the house. Those have seen houses here as you go down through here. So you got the 3 bedrooms, hardwood floors in 2 of the bedrooms. There are hardwood floors underneath the carpet. So if you wanted to take up the carpet's fairly new and within the last couple of years. Bathroom's been updated. And things of that sort. So, but don't want to take up too much time on here. But yeah, if you want to take a look at this house, give me a holler, 402-672-7670. And if you need help to finance it, give Russ a holler at 290-8936. And we'll help you any way, shape, or form that we can and get you on a game plan and rock and roll through there. So, but any questions, comments, Russ? You're on mute.
So. Sorry about that. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep, everyone. Yeah, so have a great Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. So yeah, if you want to go out and look at a house, give me a holler. I'll be out in the area. I haven't even put a sign in the yard yet, so you're kind of first to know about it. I got to get in there and draw my flyers and all that kind of fun stuff. So, but love to show it to you. It's a great house, right there, kind of in that midtown, kind of UNMC, Blackstone, Exarban district area, kind of in the hub of everything. So it also make a great investment property. Even a midterm rental for people that are working at the med center or at the VA, those traveling nurses or traveling professionals. So it's a great little house there. So awesome. But don't take up too much of your time, and we'll take care. Have a great Thanksgiving and see everybody